Have you ever felt out of your depth like a fraud and just kind of guessed or bullshitted your way through a situation and maybe scared that at any time someone will call you out on it? I can think of many examples when I felt like this throughout my career, especially early career. This is called the imposter syndrome. Today I will tell you what you need to know and what you can do about it. What is going on, guys? Richard Rosa with the Personal Development Channel. I hope you're all doing well. In this episode, I'll be talking about the imposter syndrome. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. And if at any point you like what you see, give it a like. Let's get to it. A survey conducted in 2017 claimed that a third of millennials have imposter syndrome. This means that this syndrome is particularly prevalent in young people, and therefore it's crucial to know whether you are one of these people. This term came from two American psychologists, Paulina Rose Clance, PhD, and Suzanne Imes, PhD, in 1978. Imposter syndrome is also known as fraud syndrome, imposter experience, imposter phenomenon. Wikipedia defines imposter syndrome as it is a psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their accomplishments or talents and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. People with this syndrome feel like they do not have the right to what they have obtained. These types of people do not divulge their abilities, and despite external proof of their competence, they continue to convince themselves that they are not bright, and usually associate their accomplishment to luck, having support, manageable tasks, right timing, sympathy, or by misleading others. A research conducted by Paulina Rose Clance and Suzanne Imes in Georgia State University argued that this syndrome is more widespread and intense among high-achieving women. They stated that certain factors like specific family dynamics, entering a new role, and later introduction of societal sex role stereotyping seemed to contribute significantly to the development of the imposter syndrome in young, high-achieving women. Now, on the contrary, this syndrome exists but is less intense in men apparently. But I know personally, when I've discovered this, I can look back on my career and easily tell you many stories of when I've been in this position. An easy one was when I had only really just got into learning and development, and that was about 14 years ago now. And quite soon after getting into this role of being a learning and development officer, that was my first role, and I was on a secondment. I was put in front of people to interview people in a similar role, but these people had like 10 years experience in learning and development. I just really felt out of place. I really did not feel like I belonged there. And you could clearly see the people I was interviewing had shitloads more experience than I did. So, you know, it puts you on the back foot and it kind of knocks you a little bit. But now when I reflect back on it, it's made me way stronger. There's also research that suggests a correlation to this disorder with perfectionism. So how can you identify if you have imposter syndrome? To fix something, you should first recognize it. So the initial step in fixing this problem would be identifying it as a problem first. Here are some signs which will warn you that you have imposter syndrome. First, it's tough to accept that if we have this syndrome. So it takes courage to talk about being an imposter. So some of the points, like you can often find yourself giving negative self-talk. You always feel inadequate and incompetent. You don't apply to scholarship applications or job postings unless they satisfy every single requirement. You always criticize your performance. You lay very challenging goals for yourself and feel powerless when you fall. You have a hard time taking compliments. You are comfortable in communicating with junior people, but speaking with your peers or mentors can knock you off. You don't see yourself as special. Most of the time you think that if you have achieved this, others can also. So there's some of the signs that might mean you have the imposter syndrome. But like I said a little while ago when I gave you my example, when I first started in my career in learning and development. I didn't know about this at that time. Heck, I didn't even know much about learning and development, let alone the imposter syndrome. I kind of just got on with it. But looking back now, if I'd have known some of this, I'd have probably asked for a bit of help and said, look, I feel out of my depth, but I didn't. I was scared. I was scared to ask. I thought, I've got a great job now and I've started something that I wanted to do. I'm not going to go and tell somebody that I feel out of place. Just, I didn't do that, but I never really knew anything about it. And looking back, I think somebody would have helped me. So the second step after identifying this is how to combat these feelings of being an imposter. But before this, a thing to remind yourself is that it will take you time and effort. Like anything, you'll have to work on it. So here are some points that will encourage you to learn not to think like an imposter, but like a person who is proud of their achievements. Don't feel afraid to accept. Now, things will start getting back to your control once you expose yourself and break the silence. Free yourself from the chains of pressure and accept this problem as a part of your personality. Because once you name these feelings, you will be prepared to then work on them. You're not alone. Always know that you are not the only person going through this. This understanding will also make it slightly easier to talk about your emotions. Once you begin debating over it, you'll be shocked by how many people can relate to how you feel. An author, Valerie Young, after discussing her syndrome with her mentors, mentioned in her book, The Secret Thoughts of Successful Women, that to me, they were intelligent, articulate, and supremely competent individuals. To learn that they even felt like they were fooling others rocked my world. This is the words that she used. And that just shows you that even the most successful of people can feel this. Okay, you can also keep a brag sheet. I love this one. Now, keep a brag sheet list of your achievements throughout your life. Keeping a sheet of your victories will make you feel significant about yourself. It will help you recognize your strengths. You'll see the role you have played towards your success. Also share your achievements and difficulties with people. Celebrate who you are, the efforts that you've put in, and the things that you've accomplished. And you can also read successful people's biographies. After this practice, you'll discover a lot of successful people battled with these feelings of intense self-doubt. However, they're the people that now lead the world. It will help you pick up good points from their life, which will also help you assist yourself with any insecurities. So my final thoughts on this: remember that you are entitled to make mistakes occasionally and forgive yourself. Don't forget to reward yourself for getting the big things right. Everyone needs help. Recognize that you can seek assistance and that you don't have to do everything alone. This will give you a good reality check and help you talk things through. And at the end of the day, remember this: you are here for a reason. In this job, your business, your life, you are worthy. You are better than you think you are. You are smarter than you think you are. You know more than you give yourself credit for. Remember that and remind yourself as often as you need to. So my challenge for today is keep a brag sheet. As I said earlier, a brag sheet is a list of your achievements throughout your life. Keeping a sheet of your victories will make you feel significant about yourself. It will help you remember and recognize your strengths and successes. Share your challenge experience with us in the YouTube comments or tag us on Instagram using @RosaMindset. That's it for today, everyone. Hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed the content, give it a little like. And if you'd like to be notified of any other episodes, then hit that little notification bell. If you'd like me to expand on anything, then please comment and I will look into it. And finally, come and join our community on Instagram or Facebook. All the links are in the description below. This has been Richard Rosa. Peace out.